I do want to say ahead of time that I did an interview with this guy who towed me out from where I was, and the video itself is going to be dark on the inside of his truck, but if you guys just give it the benefit of the doubt and stay tuned, I asked this guy some really good questions, and these are also some questions that other fellow drivers have asked me to ask a tow truck driver if I ever have the chance. So yeah, stay tuned and listen to what this guy has to say, because it's going to be quite the video. All right, guys. All right, so we're getting towed right now, and we're gonna do a little questionnaire for this driver that y'all have asked me. So one of the first question is, how long have you done towing, and did you push semis before you were doing this?
Never drove semis before this, and I've been doing it for 38 years. And I don't know, I started out in the little trucks and then moved my way up to the big heavy wreckers.
So how much money is in it for towing? Like, how much would you say that you make in either a week or a month?
Back when, and I do this kind of casually now, but back in my heyday, about 10 years ago, could make up to 100 to 175, depending on the year.
Boy, am I in the wrong line of work.
It's not like that all the time, and it's dry spells because you work off commission. The best drivers will be based on commission, and good companies will pay you by commission. So you can get in where it's hourly and it's rough.
Okay, so what trucks do you find yourself towing mostly? Like, is there a specific make and model, older or newer trucks?
Back 10 years ago, it was a lot of Freightliners and Volvos. Now it's just, I don't think it's anything like every day the same truck. So it's pretty much all trucks now.
What is one of the dumbest tows that you've had to do? Whether it was driver negligence or a tow that simply didn't need to be done.
Okay, so that's a kind of a tricky question. So now the trucks are automatic, and they supply air to the transmission for them to operate. I have gone all the way 150 miles for a truck that lost its air while it was in drive mode. So what happens there is a truck will not start. So what'll happen is you'll get out there, you'll have to supply it with air, and we do that all the time because that's part of the process. And as soon as I put enough air in there, it kicked it into neutral, and we towed it all the way to Freightliner, and I did not realize it at the time, but when we got to Freightliner, there was nothing wrong with the truck.
All right, so what's one of the worst drivers that you've had to tow with? For an example, like they were dirty, they were rude, or they made a dumb decision that led to the tow, lack of driver knowledge.
I like that question because I got a good one. It may take a second. So I went all the way kind of another 140 miles to go get this truck and trailer, and this gentleman had broke down and was on the side of the road and tried fixing his own truck, which I don't have a problem with that. That's not a big deal. But the thing was, he was just littering the parking lot where he was at. It wasn't really a parking lot, it was the side of the road, and throwing his oil cans and his trash and his whatever he was building, we're trying to fix his truck. And I got all hooked up, and I said, well, let's start picking up all the stuff. And he goes, no, I'm not picking that up. And I told the gentleman, I said, looked him straight in the face, and I told him, I says, I am going to leave. And he goes, you came here 140 miles to just leave me here? And I'm like, yes, sir, I will definitely do that. And he started picking up his stuff, and as we got all done, I did the walk around like I normally do, and the poor guy had a flat tire on the trailer, and so we had to go across the street where the giant TA thing, or Petro, that's what it was, and we had to get a tire fixed. But he told me, he says, "Are you serious? You're not gonna?" I says, "Yeah, I mean 100% dead serious. I take this literally, and I want to be going home tonight." You know what I mean?
All right. Well, I guess that driver should have picked his shit up in the first place. All right. So next question is, what trucks are more of a pain to tow? Are they the older ones and newer ones, or is there a specific make or model that makes it difficult to tow?
Well, now that they've gotten lower, the Volvos are bad. The Freightliners are tragic. They've got these new front bearings that are on the bumper, and you actually almost have to remove the bumper to tow it.
Yeah, I gotta hate those freight shakers. All right, so lastly, if you want, share a brief story about something that you've done, encountered, or had to deal with while on the road towing.
I'm gonna say the worst thing I've ever had. I was towing sticks in my mind like immediate. Just bringing a truck and trailer in from the direction we're coming from the north, headed south, and we're coming kind of in the same area where I picked you up at, and a four-wheeler was coming onto the freeway, and this car was behind that four-wheeler and was very impatient. I had a pickup truck in the fast lane, and I'm 120 feet long when I'm towing a truck and trailer, and basically, if you think about this, 120 feet long and 1,000 pounds per foot, if you kind of do the math. So this car jumps out into the lane we're at. The four-wheeler that was in front of him kind of got in the way. I am trying to put the binders on and trying to get out of the way. Luckily, somehow, the pickup truck that was beside me in the fast lane just managed to move over just enough for me to avoid like the biggest melee that could have happened. And it was like the driver that I was towing and myself were just trying to catch our breaths. It was scary.
About 2 drop speed came out on that one. Well, that wraps up all the questions I got, and I told you guys if I ever had the chance, I would ask a tow driver about it. So you said you've been doing this for about 30-some years?
38 years.
38 years. Right on. And that is just strictly towing semis?
No, I did small trucks for about 7 years and begged to get into a big truck.
So can you elaborate on small trucks like passenger vehicles or?
Yeah, so it's in medium. So like back in the day was 1 tons towing, regular cars, and then rollback flatbed trucks that we just put the car up on top of the bed and go. But I did all those for a while. I kind of moved my way up to I did do the Landals, which is the low beds and hauled buses. And that's cool. That's a hoot, but you got to watch clearances and heights. But that was kind of my introduction to the heavy wreckers, and they have single axle. We call them single axle heavy wreckers, and we'll do swaps. So we'll take like a ABF, and we'll take a good tractor out and bring a good tractor back or a bad tractor back, and that's kind of the way you start learning and getting your feet on the ground. And then it's kind of more the company that wants to trust you. And I had worked for a company that really didn't have any faith in newer drivers coming on. So I actually quit and left and went to work for another company. And they put a lot of faith in me, and it's history, man. I done it and I like it, and it's like not working.
Yeah, that's what I always say is the reason why I like trucking is because I feel like I'm not going to work. So what kind of truck is this that you're using to tow me out with?
This is a Freightliner FL 120 with a 50-ton wrecker bed on the back, and this is pretty much the cat's meow back in '99. So this is a '95 truck, and it's